class today, our lesson topic is to discuss the analysis of Malala's speech to the UN, and we are looking at the rhetorical analysis of this speech. You have heard this speech before, you read it before, but today we're going to look at it with a different purpose in mind. Our learning goals will be to build understanding of Aristotle rhetorical appeals. You're familiar with those vocabulary, what they mean, logos, ethos, and pathos. Also, you are going to apply this knowledge of rhetorical element to Malala's speech. And this is in preparation for your summative assessment. Your summative assessment will be to become an agent of change by promoting an area of injustice, by creating and delivering a rhetorical speech to promote change, just as Malala did. And I am going to broaden the scope of your speech, not limited to issues in Pakistan or one of Malala's platform. In your speech, you can select any element of injustice here at school, in our community, in our country, or in our global community. So you will have a wider scope from which to choose your area of injustice to build your comfortability. Now, the reason why I moved to rhetorical speeches is because I noticed that some of you are reluctant to share your working class. I know we have been together 9 weeks already, so we are pretty comfortable with each other, and I want to challenge you to deliver a speech to your classmates. And also, I would like to invite you or to let you know that you may invite your parents, other teachers, and maybe Mr. Harrod's class might be able to join us on the day of our rhetorical speech. How do you feel about that? Feel good about that? Okay, very good. Now, I know some of us are shy, but I want you to step out and be confident in your ability to make your presentation. Okay, now, with respect to Malala's speech, we know that her speech was seasoned with rhetorical elements. And some of these things that I noticed you guys were looking at yesterday were the audience. Who was the audience for her speech? Kyle?
The broad audience was you.
Okay, so the broad audience would be global, but she was addressing whom? Who was she addressing, Evelyn?
Kind of organizations and council, and people who own, who help these people who don't have education.
Very good. So she was addressing the United Nations, and her purpose was to bring awareness to the injustice in these areas, especially in education. Education was her platform, and the context in which she presented her speech was based on her belief that everybody should have free education. And because of that, she was shot in the head by the Taliban because she was promoting education for everyone. Okay, now let's look at, I know you looked at the ethos, pathos, logos, and triads where you had repetitions. Also, you were referencing anaphora where you had the same words repeated in the speech, and also the antithesis where you had paired opposites. So in your discussion, I would like you to highlight those elements in addition to anything else you may have found. I'm very interested to see what you have found as you analyze this text. Okay, who would like to look at the first paragraph? If you notice on the handout, you have paragraphing and line numbers. So make reference to those so that we can follow along with you. Austin, would you like to start?
Can I go next?
Okay, Evelyn?
In the first paragraph, she talks about the people who are helping her do all these things, like the UN Secretary General, the respected President of the General Assembly, the UN envoy, and all these other people, and she's thanking them for helping them, and she's almost, she's showing them, the people who else are sitting there, like, who these people are, what they're doing.
Okay, so which one of the appeals do you think was introduced in the first paragraph? What appeal was employed or used?
Logos, maybe?
Class, Austin, do you agree?
Yes.
Logos? What is logos? Do you remember what that is? It refers to, Daniel?
Using logic.
Logic. So logos is using logic. So what do you think was used here?
She said, like, dear brothers and sisters, to, like, get unity, like, to make it, since, like, they're
Yes.
united.
So she was saying, dear brothers and sisters, repeatedly. So what element of appeal was that? Was it logo?
Ethos.
Ethos? All right, very good. No, ethos is, pathos is emotional, and ethos, yes, she is establishing credibility. Why was she credible to speak to the UN? What happened? Yes, Josh?
Because her experiences about the problem were firsthand.
Very good. Now, you asked a question yesterday, and I would like you to answer that question. Do you remember the question you asked yesterday? Would you ask this again to the class? And you asked me that question. I want you to ask the question and then present your response to that.
I asked, would Malala's impact have been as big as it was if she hadn't been shot in the head? And I think probably no, because a lot of, like, the news is, like, negative, and so when people get shot, it becomes a really big deal. But, and she wasn't really well known, or in a really, she was in kind of a remote place, and so she couldn't get her word out that easily. But I guess that's what she meant when, it didn't silence her, but it did kind of the opposite. It got everybody to listen to her.
All right, so how do we call that?
Irony.
Very good, Austin. That was ironic. So here they were trying to silence her, but yet they enabled her to spread her platform. Yes, Amelia?
So back to the question, I think that Malala could have done it, but I don't think she would have been as motivated if she hadn't been shot in the head by the Taliban.
Why do you say she would not be as motivated?
Because nothing really would have happened to her that she could back up evidences for, so she just wouldn't.
So what you're saying here, she would not have the worldwide support that she did if this did not happen to her? Okay, so then her voice would not be as powerful or impactful. All right, yes, Joey?
I agree what you said, but I don't think she would be less motivated because of it. She still was denied education, she still was college, and yes, she became more motivated because of it, but I don't think she wouldn't have been there. She still would have fought for the cause.
You just said that it made her more motivated, so she
No,
was.
it's not on, well, okay. So, what I'm trying to say is that she was very motivated before, and she would so go on with the cause, and she would so try and fight for it if she wouldn't have been shot. But if she, wasn't shot,
She wouldn't have that extra motivation, therefore, it gave her more motivation.
yes, whatever.
All right, okay. All right, we're gonna leave that over there, Christian.
I think the real thing was the way that it motivated other people. So like, people see a dead person or a shot person, and then they see all the dead other people, and they're like, oh, this is a problem. And didn't, because she spoke out. But if she hadn't gotten shot, then people would have known about it and then not seen the rest of the problem. So.
Okay, so you see, this built her credibility. So ethos is in the introduction. So let's, I know we need to move along. Yes, Abby, what would you like to say about the introduction?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, back to that question, sorry, but I just have one more thing to add, is when, in paragraph 6, she said, I speak not for myself, but for all girls and boys. I I think that kind of gave her like a feeling like this happened to other people. This isn't just me, you know. Like I had to make this stop because I might have survived, but so many other people haven't.
Did not. So she belittled her what she experienced. You know, she has the crime and then the climax. Millions of people, thousands of people died. I'm just one. So she made what she experienced very small in comparison to the others. Layla?
I think like it's important that Abby mentioned that because like recently when I was reading the speech, she talked about like how her friends had also been shot, which like I didn't know about, but I feel like a lot of the attention is on her, but she like wants she wants people to know that like there have been a lot of other people in the same situation as her, but they haven't survived because like they can't get the medical attention.
Okay, guys, now let's continue because I want to focus on those rhetorical elements. Let's continue. Now, where does her introduction start? End? And we know it started in the first paragraph. Where did it end? It ended in paragraph 4. What else did you notice in her introduction besides, greeting and expressing her appreciation, and as Austin said, that building a sense of community by saying, dear brothers and sisters. And she is inclusive of everybody, not only those who are the United Nations, the global communities who were, impacted or were able to read or hear her messages. So she was speaking to everybody beyond those who were present there. Okay, so we notice here in paragraph 3, we had irony here, as Josh said. They tried to silence her, but they enabled her cause to grow tremendously. Now, her beginning, the actual beginning of her speech is in paragraph 5. What did you notice about that, Elliot? What type of appeal did you notice in paragraph 5?
I noticed most of pathos, and I saw that she said Malala Day is not my day, but today's for every woman. It's not every woman get education, some just have to stay home and take care of everything.
All right, so here again she was trying to put herself at the side, but highlight her cause, her platform, and that is equal education for all. So it's not just Malala Day, it's a day for everyone who, especially women, and also young people, boys and girls who could not attain an education. Hannah, you wanted to say something, babe?
Yeah, it shows unity, and because like it talks about like how thousands of people have been killed by terrorism. She's not the only one who happened to. She's one of the lucky ones.
Yes. Amelia?
Malala is trying to say that, like, she's really trying to put out there that it's not just her that has been hurt, so that you don't have to help her herself, but other people have been also through this, and she's trying to speak for them, not herself.
Very good. Luke, let's go on to paragraph 6 now. What did you notice in paragraph 6 with respect to rhetorical elements or any of those devices you were looking at?
She said, I raise my voice to those without a voice can be heard. And so like, I think it's like, again, like, she's talking for everyone and not just herself. And even the people that like are able to like reach out to like everyone, that she's talking for those people. So
Very good. She's one voice for many. All right, Daniel, did you want to add anything to that, or you want to go on to the next one? Class, anybody wants to add anything to paragraph 6? Daniel, do you want to add anything to paragraph 6?
No.
Okay, do you want to say anything about what was said before? You want to pass back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, Daniel?
I'd like to add something to paragraph 6. Like, as Luke said, and as like someone said earlier, in paragraph 6, as she says, like, so here I stand, one girl among many, it shows that, she, like, her cause isn't really about her, it's about everyone.